Alright guys, we're gonna start by a casual warm-up, or we already did our warm-up game for the day, so now we're just gonna actually jump into a ranked game. Sorry if that's a little loud, but yeah, so I think we just hit 100 games the other day. We did not have very good match history, but you know, it is what it is. All we can do is play the best we can. You know, we lose games 14-3 Zed, 3-7 Twitch. And the biggest thing is like noticing when you're actually the issue. What happened this game was I solo killed the Aurelian Soul and the Nyla, the LB buff please. He actually got super mad at, I don't know if it was Teemo or the Karma, but yeah, so then he started running it down. So he fed A-Soul his first kill. He was down like 30 CS. I was already roaming, then he ran top, fed this guy. And it was just a real bad snowball, but it is what it is, you know? All we can do is just queue up again. My main plan for this account is just to just get 50% win rate, because I do feel like it's kind of cursed. Because when you've been playing on an account for so long, and I've honestly just every year I hit plat, I play casually, so my MMR is pretty fixed on plat. But every time you hit a higher win streak, as some of you might know, the game kind of tries to stop you, don't want you to think you're boosting, and it makes sense because you deal with so many people. We're gonna ban Nautilus because I think the champion is a little too impactful, and I think that's just the best way to say it, because he just does everything better than the other champions or than other supports. He can roam, his auto stuns, his hook stuns, his R stuns. Like, you're dealing with someone that can do a ton of CC, and he's just so tanky. Like, he's such an impactful champion. I think if you can play him, if you're not against me, then definitely use him to climb, because he's honestly just such, again, he does everything right. Alright, so typically I play Zed or Twitch. I have a few little pocket picks. I'm thinking of going Zed just because squishy, squishy, squishy. Meaning no matter what these two are, as long as they don't get fed. And remember, it's all about playing what's comfortable for you. So yeah, my main goal is that these two don't get fed. I can just one-shot them. I would say as far as Zeds go, I'm pretty decent at him. The setup that I've been going lately is First Strike, Magical Footwear, Futures Market, Cosmic Insight, and then Ultimate Hunter and Eyeball Collection. If it's being a more pokey lane and you don't feel comfortable, you could always switch out Eyeball Collection for Taste of Blood. But typically, you always want Ultimate Hunter when you're taking runes, because your ult is so big. But yeah. Alright, so you don't have to look at all this. This tells me that she either is just picking it up, and you don't know when it comes to plat lobbies, I'll tell you that much. Because I do believe that you need a handful of champions to play. And if you're ever autofilled, pick an easy champion. That's the biggest thing, because autofilled's part of the game. It is. Like, whether you think it's fair or not, Like, you could be on a 6-win streak, and then you're like, oh man, why do they put me on support? Why do they put me on top lane? That's just how the game goes. But
A summoner has disconnected.
it's your responsibility in that case to be able to.
A summoner has reconnected.
It's your responsibility to be able to
Welcome.
play that role
Summoner's Rift.
to the best of your ability. And again, so rule number 2, you don't have to be the star of the show every single
30
game.
seconds until minions
And I'll say that because like that's something I struggle with. Because yeah, you don't have to be
A
the
summoner has disconnected.
Oh, this is good.
The Vitae has
Yeah, so you don't want to be the star of the show, you don't want to be the main character. If someone's carrying, your job is to get out of their way. Make the game as easy as it can be for them to keep carrying you. And
Minions have spawned.
that means don't go for solo plays.
A summoner.
It also means just farm. Like, just farm and don't die. Keep getting strong. Because eventually maybe you can be. Maybe there's that one play where you get the quadra kill. And everyone goes crazy. Good stretch, good stretch. But yeah. So, Zed loses pretty much every matchup before 3. That was a clear example. So what that means is you just want to be able to farm with your Q as much as you can. And remember that experience is worth more than gold.
the high life.
Meaning that, yeah, okay, see, great start, missed every CS there. But again, you can call me bad for that one, but I'd rather lose the CS than lose my HP. Because if I lose HP, now I have no priority to roam. If my jungler gets in a fight, I can't stay in lane because I could get dove. Like, there's a lot of reasons to give up CS there. And the important part is don't tilt over it, because again, there's certain key points of the games that you just can't change. Like again, this is a Lux. Her job, she should be bullying me more. It's the same reason like when I play AP Twitch. If Zed isn't level 3, because the only time you should be taking W, in my opinion, is when you see like this. I can auto her. Wanna juke the stun. Yeah, so the only reason you'd ever want to take W is if you feel like being overly aggressive and you feel confident in your Qs, but I really hardly see it. Or when you are winning lane and you don't want to get ganked. If this is a Graves, so I don't really have to worry too much. See, she used her stun right now, so now she can't walk up. And it's just know your matchups also. But to know your matchups, that always has to do with only playing champions you're comfortable with. Oh, what? And then just alert your jungler and your lanes where you saw everyone. Great gank by Gragas. She's probably gonna stay for the cannon, yeah, and she has barrier. So see, we know Graves is going to be on the bot side of the map, so we have to hug the top side. If she stays, it's because...
A summoner has disconnected.
Alright, so see, we shoved it in, we're winning in CS. If we wanted to be greedy, we could stay, but we honestly won't get anything out of it.
A summoner has disconnected.
But actually she has no mana, so we actually can make her lose CS now. So again, my speaking isn't the best when it comes to talking about this game, but I'll always try to explain what I did based on what I thought was the right play. So, and again, it might contradict myself, but right there, any other time it would be best to back, because that's always a safe play if you're not comfortable with stuff. But I saw she was backing,
A summoner
and the reason I said that was because she has barrier, right? So you can't really go for the solo kill, because if you do, you're gonna get baited. But the difference was she had no mana there. So if she were to stay, she wouldn't. Yeah, if she were to stay there, I have no danger. All I'm gonna do is poke her out even more and even lower to the point that, wow, to the point that not even barrier was gonna save her. So yeah, alert the team that I don't really have prio anymore. I'm gonna let her do whatever she can do. And then because Lux has such low CD on like her ult and stuff, if you get snared once, and this is just for Lux players, if you play Lux and you want to be better, waste your ult. If you land a snare on someone, just automatically ult them, because you know it's never a bad idea to do damage, especially if you can do it safely. Wow, that was some crazy creep block. She's gonna go for it.
I found my place in this world and the next.
So yeah, if you land a snare, and that's why I always play so hesitant with Lux, like, it's a good matchup when they're bad. So like, a play I would look for is something like this. Let's see.
I'm done with you.
See, that was just knowing your champion, but now you have to watch out for Graves R. Yep. See, he was gonna come to look for me, so now we're just gonna go all the way over here. But notice everything I did correctly on that play. I went on her after she used her E, because that's part of her damage. And then after that I'll do this and this. And then after that I landed her with the combo. I was confident. And then I dodged her snare with my R. That one is just kind of, you know, instinctual. You have to already just have experience of predicting it. It sounds silly to me, but I really just saw her animation and I thought, okay, when would she throw it at me? And she just hesitated. She did not flash either, so
I'm always number one.
but yeah, that was just an example of a perfect play. Now Camille's here looking. Beautiful. So now we're up about 20 CS. Here's Graves. See, oh, I was gonna say Nico's not here, so that tells us that she's gonna be roaming mid. And because it's Nico, you also have to probably understand how she's gonna gank. And you know, don't be caught up with a blue buff walking in your lane. Don't get caught up with a Krug. So now my plan here is to wait for Lux to come here. If she uses her stun, then we could just walk up and try to kill her. And see, my W's a little too close to the tower, or else I could have all-in'd her. But the last thing you want to do is throw your lead at this point. And that's just from speaking from experience of being a little too confident. Because obviously, yeah, I'm stronger than her. Have I played better than her? Yeah. But playing better and being better are just different things. See, Graves is going over here. So my plan is to...
An ally has been slain. An ally
These Krugs
has
are
been
here.
slain.
So I'm gonna wait. Alright. Graves probably should be gone already.
Are watching closely.
See how we did those? Is very calm. We opened up with the R because she has a dash. So yes. So yeah, a common combo for Z players. WEQ. Is that reliable? Kinda, but if you're going for an actual kill, it's just not your best play. So, and this is not just for Z, but it's, I would say, almost the most important thing for Z as a champion. Because, say Lux. She's gonna probably look to snoop. Oh. So say Lux. I'm stronger than her. We know this. I can kill her 100 to 0. I'm sitting on 2k gold. But what if she flashes? Say I WER her. WER her. Super fast. She's gonna flash. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're smart, some people don't flash because they're like, oh no, like what's the point? I'm already dead. Smart. That's honestly the smartest way to not waste flash, is say, okay, am I dead in this situation? Why am I gonna waste a valuable summoner? But yeah, but typically most people are gonna flash regardless. Fight's going bottom, we're gonna run bot, we're gonna look for that Ashe. But yeah, so what you want to do, and again, it's all situational, right? Like I can tell you, oh, do this in this situation, but every situation can be different than what I'm teaching you. So again, you always want to use your W's. Alright, that's not the best way to explain it. Let's start from the basics of it. So ZR is damage amplification. So, you know, while it's active, 25% of damage is stacked, blah blah blah. So that means that as much damage as we do after we R someone, it's gonna amplify. So the best way to do that is to hit Qs. That's where the meme starts with like, oh, he's missing all his Qs. It's because if you R and then hit your Qs, it's gonna do a lot of damage. Now, you want to be able to throw your shadows right before your R pops, or right after you R, or before you R. Anyway, so you can throw it and then have 3 Qs. Because, you know, you land those 3 Qs, well, that's a ton of damage. But if he were to flash, then you miss it, well then, now nothing gets done. Ashe is here. We don't know where Graves is.
What you cannot understand.
Okay, so basically you are, because I've been talking about this for way too long, because I'm getting distracted. Basically when you are, you want to wait until the last second to throw your W, if you can. Obviously, you know, if you're strong enough to kill without having to land everything, good for you.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Wow. I really died.
Style and substance.
But yeah, you throw your W just to follow him. That way you can get your most damage out. Just like that Nyla, I waited for her to... I R'd her, and then I waited for her to dash to me. I threw my WE. I missed there because I'm bad. And since I've been talking and been paying attention,
Destroyed a turret.
I missed my back timer.
The brighter the town, the darker its shadows. My shadows are much more than traces of light.
See, and also remember when you're strong, because what I mean by that is,
Living shadows.
even though I'm stronger than them, again, even though I'm stronger, she can still kill me with these items because I'm at 800 HP. She's Lux. There's just a lot that goes into it. So from here, we're gonna go Prowler's Claw. I have been experimenting with a build of just crit because Storm Razor is a really broken item right now. And I don't know if you guys remember Crit Zed. It was pretty fun.
An enemy has been slain.
She's gonna. Oh, she's not gonna reach for it. Okay. See, that was one of the times where it did not matter. Unless she was fast enough to flash everything, then I wouldn't have gotten that kill. But everything else, again, it's about knowing your champion and knowing your damage.
And it will reward you.
And see, so now laning phase is pretty much over. It's 20 minutes into the game. If laning phase is going past that, then you're just slow elo. So it's good that this guy understood that he can go mid now. And I say that because so many people don't know how to make correct rotations. And if you take something from someone, they're assuming that you're being toxic or whatever. So pretty much there's different forms of like of correct movement. And what that means is, like, say I make a roam. So let's say I roamed bot lane. I roamed bot lane, we got some kills, my ADC dies. Well, if there is a, let's see, no armor, no armor, no armor, I'm gonna go for Edge of Night because I'm so strong that I need some CC and protection. Because I don't want to throw away my almost 1,000 gold shutdown, because that's how people get back in the game. Because no one is really out. Like, she's 1 kill away from being useful.
Everybody drank the Vitae.
So yeah, so like I told you guys earlier about, you know, about how XP is worth more than gold in a lot of cases, mostly early game. This is one of those times, because even though Nico's died 3 times. Like, she's still level 12. She can still one-shot my ADC if that was the situation.
Zed has never looked better.
Your team has destroyed the turret.
The shadows demand.
An enemy has been slain.
So yeah, again, there's reason. There are times to be greedy with Flash, times not to be greedy. That was definitely not a time to be greedy with Flash. Again, she was 2 and 3, not the worst score in the world. I had most of my ADCs go 2 and 18 lately. It's whatever. But yeah, that's why in that case she walked up to me. So I just flashed because I had nothing up there to give or nothing there worth risking, because again, I'm 7 and 0 with 1,000 gold shutdown. How's that ever worth for me? Because if she dies, if we go 1 for 1, that's great for her. This guy, I'm gonna try to. Oh wow.
I cast a long shadow from the high life.
In this case, I don't think rushing Baron is a bad idea, just because we have pressure bot lane, we have pressure, we can have pressure mid lane, and we have pressure top lane. See, and their jungler's showing bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stay here, so they don't think that we're on it. And a lot of these plays, you know, they're not perfect, but I honestly think they were for the best. Then from here, we're already ahead enough to where we'll just go for Last Whisper. We're going to rush the CDR component though, because no one has any armor except Lux. And yeah, we're going to try to now use our lead. This is pushing back to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to farm up because I also want blue. So one thing that a lot of people do not know is that blue buff, what does it do? It regens mana, right? Of course, you know, mana's blue, mana's yeah, mana's blue, blue buff. It makes sense. But what people don't know is that it also gives energy regen. And it actually gives more energy regen than it does mana regen. And because of that, it has such high value on energy champions like Akali, like Zed. And as you can imagine, especially Zed, most of his damage is coming from abilities. So if he can't use his combos, he's out of the game. And I speak from that as, again, I've played Zed for like consistently probably about 3 years, because I've hit plat on like every single lane. But I just really like Zed, but not the point. But yeah, there's so many times where like you can be the strongest person on the map, but then you use one combo and then it doesn't matter because you just have to stand there, because you can't get into the fight, you can't You can't do damage, and then you're just useless. Okay, guys, let's. Yeah, like it's just not a. It's not ideal. Again, I'm worth 1,000 gold, 8-0.
In the business of killing, I'm always
So yeah, just if your mid laner is ahead, give them blue. And that being said, to mid laners, if your jungler's ahead, they can keep blue. Like, why am I gonna take a red buff away from a Rengar who's 12-0 and I'm not even doing bad. I'm 5-2. Let's say that. Like, why would I say red buff is better on me? Or an Echo that's 10-3. Like, why would I not want to give him that? So, we saw us get the Baron. It was a correct use of it, and by that I mean, you know, we got like 3 towers off it. The only thing that could have been better is if I did not keep for the blue buff. I will be honest. And right there, that's a lesson in and of itself, because I... See how useless I was there? Because I didn't have any energy. I don't know where Graves is, so I have to... No, I won't back.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, this is my first video for, you know, trying to teach.
They never like my outfit.
So yeah, and now we're down to our last item. I really like Collector as the final item. So that's what I've been kind of going towards, because, you know, it helps with the execute. One thing I also think is that Collector is kind of a tank item also. That doesn't apply to this game, but I don't know, it's just something I've always thought of, because it does percent execute damage. So depending on what you're... So a tank, you know, the percentages are higher, or the health is higher for them, so if you get them to like 1,000 and they have a certain amount of HP, that could be enough to kill them.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Wow, Slex doesn't even have a mythic yet.
An enemy has been slain. Dominating. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
Alright, good game.
Victory!
Again, we played it as best we could. So yeah, not a bad game. I would probably give it to the Gragas because I think he played well enough, or the Camille. Alright, not a bad game. 61 LP, maybe we can hit Plat 3 today. 9-0, second most damage in the game. Yeah, not bad. Ah, see, this guy is upset. But alright guys, good game. Thanks for, hope you enjoyed it.